All right, my friends. So now let's talk about systems. Let's talk about systems that will help us be successful and systems that are going to help us scale. Back in my day, I sound like my parents, but back in my day, we didn't have any of this technology. When I first started in real estate, as I told you before, we did have the MLS, but we didn't have CRM management tools and we didn't have the way that you can generate leads online anymore. And we didn't have social media. So there's a lot of great things that have happened with technology. But if you're not careful and if you don't have the right systems in place, it's just going to be a bunch of unnecessary mess. And it's actually going to take you more time than actually alleviating you and making sure that you're doing the things you're supposed to be doing and allowing everything else to be done through technology and systems. So I'm going to help you with systems that'll help you be successful and they're going to help you scale your business. Now, as an agent, you understand that you cannot do this alone. If you've looked at the Academy just for a few videos, you'll see your daily disciplines alone will keep you extremely busy. But if you learn how to leverage technology, people, and time, you're going to be a lot more successful. Now, I know saying leveraging people may sound bad, but what I mean is you want to be able to help your business and then help your business through their talents. We just took the SWOT test, and that tells you exactly where your strengths and weaknesses are. Wouldn't it be great to get someone who can do all of your weaknesses for you and help you out? Now, that does include probably employing a virtual assistant or an actual assistant that works side by side with you, but that will come in time if you can't do that at this time. So we're going to try to leverage technology as well. And of course, time. The more time you have, the more you can do what you need to do to actually income produce. You can spend a lot of time doing busy work. That is important, but again, it's not utilizing your strength and it's actually holding you back. So without leveraging systems, people, and time, you're going to find yourself in the burnout mode. Now, I've burned out 3 times in this business, so I'm warning you, it happens. So I'd love to help you on how and what you need in order to scale and be successful. So I'm going to go through some systems right now. Please, please do not get overwhelmed. We're going to go and we're going to break every single one of these down, so you don't worry about that. And we're going to create an action plan that's going to make it a lot more digestible for you. So let's get started. One more thing I'd like to mention, a lot of brokers provide these systems for you. So again, I'm a national coach. I teach nationally. But a lot of brokers I know supply a good amount of all of these things. So we're going to break down every single one of them. So don't get overwhelmed. But let's go ahead and start noting what we need for a successful business. Without a doubt, CRM system. You have to have that. That is a vital piece of your business. The multiple listing service, also extremely vital. How are you ever going to gain product knowledge or show a property if you don't know what's out there? Your scheduling tools in order to schedule appointments, along with email marketing automation, virtual meeting tools, document management, and e-signatures, able to get things done efficiently, effectively, and quickly. Speed is important to success. Social media and lead generating tools. We're going to talk to you about that as well. Website and lead capture systems. Fantastic. They both kind of go together if you know how to synchronize and if you get the right systems that integrate. And we're going to talk about that. And last but not least, review and reputation management tools. What do I mean by that? Well, there are several ways for you to get 5-star reviews as well as recommendations at the same time. So we're going to go through that as well. Remember, that's very important. Now, let's start with CRM. Now, we all know what that is. That is a customer relationship management system. And this is basically the one that's going to tell you, hey, agent, it's time for us to call so-and-so because their lease is going to expire in 90 days. So even though it takes for you as the human to have the amazing conversations we train you to have here and actually get point of contact, name, number, and emails, it's definitely up to you to put them in the right categories, in the right temperature readings, and the right conversion plan. So that CRM system is going to help you, but you have to input the information first. Then as you put the information in this beautiful database, that is when you start managing them. Now, I'm going to give you some examples. I am not a promoter of anyone. I'm just letting you know there are some out there, and here are some of the names. There's Top Producer, there's HubSpot, there's Follow Up Boss, and the purpose of all of these is, of course, to make sure that you are organized, categorizing your leads, and of course, subscribing them to your professional newsletter. The CRM is really going to help you be a lot more effective. It keeps notes on every lead. It keeps preferences on every lead. It keeps interactions, little things you guys talked about. Please remember those because it makes it a lot more personal in the follow-up. It also helps set reminders, right? Follow-up actions. Hey, don't forget, you got to reach out to your strategic partners. Hey, don't forget, you got an event coming up. You got to go ahead and invite. Here's your invite list. So you want to make sure that your CRM is set up to work exactly the way you need it to work. Now, not all CRMs have these capabilities. So you want to make sure that you have a list of non-negotiable actions that you need out of your CRM as you're shopping CRMs. This is what's going to help you keep automated emails, and even some CRMs have text messaging capabilities. That's pretty fantastic. So what do you do from here? Choose a CRM that suits your workflow. So you, again, try some free trial versions. The only problem with trying too many trial versions, number one, it is time consuming. And number two, with anything, there is a learning curve. So you're going to have to take that time, the week or two, to actually figure out your systems, maybe schedule a few demos, watch a few videos on how to work the CRM. So it's not the easiest thing to do to select the perfect one. And the reality is there isn't a perfect one out there. Everyone's missing something, but first reach out to your broker and see which one's available if you don't already have one. If that's not working for you, then start venturing out to what you needed to do, number one. And number two, look for the systems that do exactly that. And don't forget, you do have to input every single lead in there for it to work. So even though it's going to take work and effort from you, the CRM is what helps you kind of put it all in one area. So let's talk about the multiple listing service. The MLS is key for you. We all know this. We know what it's for. It helps us find the homes. It's basically everything we need in order to keep our product knowledge up to date. It generates market reports once you become a listing agent, or if you already are. Make sure you're giving the seller weekly market reports and movement in the market. They are so appreciative of that. And use your MLS system. I mean, many MLS systems already create the graphs for you. So it's pretty simple. It makes it really, really simple for you to touch base with your sellers and give them actual stats and data. So you, of course, from this point forward, what's your action plan after your MLS is to make sure you know everything it offers you. If you go on the dashboard, you're going to see multiple items. In fact, systems I'm going to recommend here sometimes are already provided by the board you're with. So look at your dashboard. What does it offer? What does it have? What does the board offer you? Get as much out of your money. We all know these fees, they are not cheap. And so it's important that you understand what you have. A wonderful thing is using your MLS system to help anyone that you come into an open house, give them automated buyer reports. So what I mean by that is some MLS systems, in fact, it should be all of them, have a way where you can put someone on property market updates, and anytime there's an update for a property that they talked about that they liked, but they're further down the road and you couldn't convert them to an immediate appointment, keep loving on them every week by setting them up on these alerts. And then now you're top of mind all the time. We're going to talk more about that later on in the Academy. Scheduling and appointment tools. So this one's overlooked because some people try to figure it all out by themselves, right? Some people try to put everything on Google, or some people just probably still have, like me, old school, right? You still got to make sure that you have it in writing on your desk as well, whatever works for you. But actually scheduling and appointment tools are really important. When you start working with relocating clients, it's pretty important that you have buyer consultations and seller consultations face to face. I talk about this in the Sellers Academy. Having a quick phone call is great, but there's nothing like face-to-face time. So make sure you have Zoom accounts set up. Make sure you have a calendar or scheduling. Make sure you have Google Calendar. And I talk about that in the time management section here at the Academy. I teach you how to color coordinate in Google, and it shows you what you have that's money and income producing as well. So any of these scheduling and appointment tools, some people like Monday.com. Maybe you can find one that integrates with your CRM, but you are going to need these tools so that you can stay organized. Obviously, that's what it does, right? That's what it's for. And a great thing about a certain scheduling an appointment tool is maybe something like Calendly. Again, I don't promote products, but maybe Calendly, the only good thing about, not the only good thing, I'm sorry. The good thing about Calendly is that there is your clients can actually book time with you by what you have available. So we say so many times, if you're interested, book an appointment. Well, let's make sure they have the tools that if they say, yes, I want to meet with you, they can click on a link and go right in and schedule a buyer consultation with you, a listing presentation with you. So make it special, make it available, and make sure it's very clear that you want to schedule time with someone. Offer these free buyer strategy meetings, free 15-minute buyer strategy meeting. Click here. Or if you're at an open house, scan the QR code and schedule a free buyer success meeting. In fact, you can even do that before they leave. Say, hey, I have a QR code here, and you can schedule whenever you want. Scan it real quick and let me know when that good time is for you. You can just book it on my calendar. Something like that. The more accessible and easy we make it for our customers, the better it is and the better our chances are of converting them. And of course, make sure you sync all of your calendars. So I have an iCalendar, a Google Calendar, sync them all together. I also have a family calendar, a work calendar, and I sync them all together. You don't want to double book yourself or forget anything. So scheduling and appointment tools, here's how it works, and here's the next action plan. I hope that was helpful for you. Set up an account, whether it's Calendly or anything else that you can share and personalize, scheduling appointments with clients, or being able to time block very easily. Find the one that works best for you and make sure you're blocking out those times for client meetings, showings. Don't forget to schedule your personal time. That's very important. Now let's talk about email marketing automation. Many CRMs can do this for you. It's the whole reason why we have them, right? But there are other examples like MailChimp and Constant Contact, ConvertKit. All of these types are also email marketing automation. Now, many of these now have AI. Now, if they have artificial intelligence, they can actually create a template for you if you just put in your colors and your logo, and they can actually create an email marketing campaign for you. So it's really important that you stay top of mind. Again, a lot of CRMs have the same option, but if you are an agent that maybe you don't like the way the CRM does it and you want to incorporate another tool, here is an idea for you. Of course, the purpose behind email marketing automation is to be top of mind. Again, you're out there lead generating every day. You're calling people every day on your CRM. You're doing all the money-making ideas and things. And so you need someone to still keep up with your database, right? So that's what automation is all about. It helps you also create and personalize each campaign. So I talk about this later on in the academy when you get into the buyer and the sellers academy. It's about setting a newsletter that is relevant, right? We kind of talked about that in SMART goals too. Is it relevant to them? So if you're sending out a newsletter and it's only about how to buy a property, well, you're going to X out all your seller interest. But if you learn how to create either two different ones or one that has information for both, that's where you decide that's actually the winner chicken dinner, because now it's like, oh, well, I'm not a buyer. Oh, but I am thinking about selling, or I do need to protest my taxes, or wow, I never thought about doing that to my home. That is what makes you relevant, and that's pretty important. So make sure that you're segmenting your people, and we talk about that in CRM management as well. But the automation for email marketing is really imperative in today's business. It really is. And so it helps track too. That's one thing I love about it. Who opened it? Who didn't open it? Why didn't they open it? Oh, well, maybe that line, that tagline doesn't really work. Maybe I got to think of something better for them to go ahead and find more catchy for them to go ahead and click on. So really remember, if you don't manage what you can't measure, right? So make sure you manage so that you can measure everything. So build an email list for your CRM through opt-ins on your website. So this is your action plan. The next thing you want to do is build an email list into your CRM. So think about that. And also in your CRM, when they accept it, they can actually click opt-in. Now, if you don't have that, just make sure that you have a opt-out. And we want to make sure that we're compliant at all times. And so if you send it to them because you currently have your email on their phone and they're a cousin of yours, but they're like, I don't want your emails, make sure you have that opt-out option on your email campaign. So it's really important that they opt in And if you already know them and didn't quite get that consent, if you do send it to them, make sure it has an opt out. And just keep in mind, make sure you have those opt-in, opt-out options on your website as well. So, and this just allows you to be top of mind. That's the most important part. Another thing is your action plan is to create a series of emails for new leads. Why don't you just set your email campaigns for the next quarter, for the next whatever months are coming up for you? Set up an email campaign. What holiday's coming? Is it Labor Day? Is it St. Patrick's Day? Is it Christmas? Is it New Year's? Like, what are you going to do? And that's the great thing about the quarter business planning is that we actually market out what we're going to target that quarter. So pretty important. Then we're going to go ahead and have virtual meetings all the time. Ever since COVID, it's like the world of Zoom, and we're doing it now. We're actually meeting online. So really important for you to have virtual meeting tools. And if you know how to do Zoom and you have Zoom, but you really don't know how to share screens or how to create content or any of that, that may be on your little list to learn here and there. It'd be really great if you could do cool things during your meeting. You will need to learn how to share your screen. So make sure you do that, because if you're in a buyer consultation, I definitely want you to go over the buyer consultation presentation, as well as there are times you're going to list a property. It's a referral. It's being rented out, but they don't live here. So you may have to meet with that seller on a Zoom call. So really important. Again, it's not just Zoom. They have Microsoft Teams, Google Meet. And of course, the purpose of all those is for you to connect. And it's so flexible. I offer buyer consultations even for local buyers, because just to be able to pop on a call real quick, I could do that while I'm sitting in the carpool lane waiting for my kids, or I could do it right before a football game. Like, I can just meet with you mobile. So it's really flexible, and a lot of people like that flexibility. So make sure you're offering those virtual meetings for sure. And it still provides the connection. So it's really important. It still provides, hey, I'm here. Hopefully you're connecting with me through all of this. And you kind of have a little bit about my personality, but we're connecting. And so that's what that's for as well, without having to drive through traffic and have a scheduled time and inconvenience anyone. So it's really great. So here's your action plan. You want to set up your meeting platform. I want you to do that. What are you going to choose as your meeting platform? And I want to make sure you have a mic and that you have a ring light and that you're kind of set up. You're ready for these virtual meetings. And it's very professional. As you can see, my logo's in the background. Every time someone pops in with me, they're like, wow, you're back so professional. I know what you do now. And so really important for us to go ahead and create those type of experiences, even if it's online. And the wonderful thing about offering virtual meetings is that you can do that right now. Yeah, that's right. I'm challenging you. Welcome to Coach Stephanie. I'm going to challenge you a lot and offer someone a free buyer consultation. Offer someone that hey, can I do a quick CMA online with you? I just want to practice. And so do those things. It's really going to help you master your trade. We're moving on. That's right, speed mode, right? The great thing is you can always come back to this video. So the document management and e-signature tools. So a lot of different brokerages have different resources for this. I don't know a brokerage firm that doesn't offer this. But if they don't, the board who you purchase your MLS from, they also offer services. So their service is a lot like DocuSign, Dotloop, HelloSign, there's PandaDoc, there's Transaction Desktop. If you look either with your broker or your board, like your MLS dashboard, they have the documents and sales contracts and addendums and everything you need on there. So you can actually select it, fill it out, and have someone sign it, and just send it to someone to sign. So if you have this already, fantastic. I am talking to everyone in the nation, so some people may not. So this is just an encouragement to make sure that you have all of your documents uploaded into a e-signature. Speed kills all deals and funds all deals, okay? So if you're with a buyer and they're ready to go and they love the property and you did your job, followed the Buyer's Academy, pulled the buyer one-liners, and you already have a number that you guys can offer because you're so prepared and you're a profit real estate agent, and they're ready to make that offer, boom, you can pull your iPad out, write up the contract, have them e-sign it there. So it's all about being ready and prepared all of the time in order to scale your business and be successful. And if you can't do that, and let's say you send the agreement, the great thing about this is that it will track if the buyer has already signed it, where they are in the process, etc. So it's really great to have these documentations, these document systems. It just really helps you make sure you're staying on top of your business and it provides great professionalism. Someone who I'm on the phone with, and as I'm on the phone, sent me a contract. I'm like, wow, this person is on top of it. That's what we want them to know, that that's what we're about, right? And the great thing is it also stores everything in one spot. So you're able to store all of your documents for future references as well. So what are your next steps? Great question. I want you to create these templates for common documents if you don't already have them downloaded. So this is again for people who don't have these systems. Make sure if you were going to adopt a system that you download all the necessary, very pertinent documents that you need. Again, I really think you have it already with the board that you're affiliated with or the broker you're with. So please check there first before you try looking up any type of e-signature tools or anything like that. Social media and lead generation tools. So a lot of people are all ghosting. I mean, not ghosting. I apologize. They're all posting, but getting ghosted. So that's what I meant to say. So when we're posting, that's it. We're posting it up and we're leaving it to chance. Well, I'm going to train you further on that, on how to go from online to offline conversion. But right now, I just want to talk to you about the tools you need for social media. And so we can go ahead, and we all know these. If you don't know these already, okay, but we all do, right? Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat, LinkedIn. Some people even use WhatsApp to form groups and kind of socialize that way. So social media, these are all the things that you need. And these platforms obviously are only going to help you generate leads if you know what you're doing, if you know how to post, if your content is talking to your selected target audience. So we're going to learn all this throughout the academy. I'm going to teach you how to lead gen for sellers, renters, buyers, landlords, investors. I'm going to teach you all these things, but it's important that you have everything set up. Now, how should you have everything set up? That's an even better question. So should it just be a profile picture? Should it be a professional headshot? What should be in the bio? You guys, you are building a reputation, and once it's online, it's online. Let them know the purpose behind your Instagram. Don't be subliminal and just throw out some lines and I'm supposed to figure it out. No, no, no. You're a real estate professional that helps people every day get into properties that they never thought they could buy. So whatever your mission, that's why we created a mission statement before this video in this program, because it's important for them to understand who you are, how much experience you have, and who you are. You're not just an agent, you're a spouse, you're a parent, you're a pet parent, whatever it is that you are, you're an advocate. You want to make sure you're using this as a tool and not just a bragging column or whatever it is, like a lot of agents sadly use the platform. You also want to make sure it has a link tree in it and they're able to book buyer consultations. There is a social media class in the academy, so I don't want to go off in a tangent, but it's really important that when I pull you up, when I Google you, that your Facebook pops up and it is professional. When I punch you up in Instagram, I'm like, wow, this person is top notch. I would love this person to represent me. Remember, everything you post is your reputation. But the great way to use social media is, of course, to create target ads. We're going to talk more about that in our social media within the academy. And if you don't know how to do this, they have great, phenomenal instructors on YouTube that are professionals at target ads to attract leads from your local market. But again, posting, getting out in the public are always the best ways to build your awareness. And make sure, and I want, if you're multitasking, if you doze off for a second, come back to me. Make sure you are creating more than consuming. I'm going to say that again. Are you ready? That was worth the whole membership right now, right? Make sure you are creating more than you are consuming. Because if you're consuming more than creating, that does no one good, not even you consuming it, unless you're doing it for learning techniques or emulation techniques, but that should be at a minimum. So if you're on your social media for 3 hours a day and you didn't post anything about your business, epic fail. Like, we need to create more than we consume. So a little bit of tough love, just a little bit, guys. All right, so engage with leads through direct messaging. Here's one thing I tell my agents: when you post something on social media, do me a favor. You probably have a lot of agents following you. Yes, yes. And so what we want to do is when we post something, we want to shoot it out to everyone directly in a DM who's not an agent. A lot of people are getting kind of lazy and they're doing @followers. That's so impersonal. So if I know I got quite a few, sellers or investors that I'm friends with or that are nationwide and I want referrals if anyone's moving to the Austin area, let me tell you something. I'm going to make sure that they get my messages directly from me, direct messaging. Okay. Just a little tip. I'm not going to go on a tangent. I'm just letting you know. Very, very important. So what is your action plan? Set up your targeted Facebook and Instagram ads for your local listing market. If you're not ready yet, let's get ready. Let's have a day. Let's have a time. Let's plan it out. If it's not this quarter, let's do next quarter. Let's get some more information and let's study those who have been really good at it. The ones that are really getting eyes on them because they know how to talk to their audience. And so really important that we go ahead and we set those up when we're ready. And if we're not ready yet, we get ready. Yeah. And always make sure you're posting valuable content, smart, specific. You want to make sure it's relevant and all the things that we're teaching you in the academy. We're almost done. Hang tight. Website and lead capturing systems. So even though social media is a great capture system, so is Google still, right? People do the first thing. If they can't think of anyone right away and they can't get referred to anyone right away, they go straight to Google. Who's the best agent in this market? And so it's really important that you do spend some time and capital on making sure that you have a pretty strong presence online. Again, never spend what you don't have. This is more of a growth type of action right here. We start growing further, but you definitely do at least have to have a website. Okay, we can create, and I'm going to teach you more on this throughout the academy, how to capture leads throughout your website. So the very examples are Squarespace, WordPress, Real Geeks, Google Ads. These are all ways to lead capture. There are also third-party lead capture people out there, companies. I'm going to actually go through that when we go into listings and we talk about sellers. And buyers, actually both, because you can generate both. It is very costly, and I can teach you how to kind of minimize that a bit. But it is important that our website reflects our service. It's very important that our website is easy to navigate. So those are some things I want to give you some tips. So should you hire a professional? Absolutely. Absolutely. Should you spend tens of thousands of dollars on your website? No. Should you spend $1,000 on your website if it's a one-time setup fee, creation fee, and continuation? See, I have a lot of agents who are first getting started here. Now, if you're not that agent, definitely you can continue to do what you do. If you're a newer agent, though, capital is scarce until we make money, right? So there's a lot of inexpensive ways to do this. You can easily go on Fiverr, you can go on Upwork, you can hire a freelancer. All you have to do is set a budget. You can go with Wix, you can go to GoDaddy, buy a domain, go to Wix, create an account, go to Fiverr, Upwork, find a freelancer that'll work within your budget and start creating your website. So that's kind of what's important. And also what's really important is that you're able to collect information very clearly and easily from anyone visiting your website. So make sure that it is easy to navigate. If you have to click 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then you're barely asking for their information, you lost them. Remember, we're in a world of instantaneous. And when you're in a world of people who are very instant, they don't want to click around too much. So just think about those things as you're creating. Make sure your website integrates with your CRM. It needs an IDX. So make sure that whoever's creating it understands that and knows how to integrate IDXs into your website. So what's the action plan? Number 1, go to GoDaddy and try to get a domain, or don't go to GoDaddy, go wherever you want to go for your domain user. I don't promote anybody. That's just what I did. And then you create exactly, if you can, your first and last name and your real estate group. So important because you are your brand and it needs to be simple. I mean, I understand there's a lot of catchy, things to do out there. And if you want to do that, so be it. It's your business. But if I just met you and I remember your name, I may Google you and then boom, the first thing that pops up is your website because it's Stephanie Perez Coaching.com. Stephanie Perez Real Estate Group.com. And so it's really simple. I didn't remember your whole name, but I remembered your first and your last name. And so I'm able to Google and easily find you. So please make sure you do all of these things. And here's your action plans. That's it. We went through all of our systems, all the systems you need to have. But here's what I want you to do. I just want you to focus to 3 or 4. Just focus about 3 to 4 right now. Get yourself going and just kill it. The most important thing for you to do is to make money, talk to people, get transactions, not get caught up in systems, right? And so you want to start small, and your most immediate ones are your CRM, your MLS, how to have virtual meetings, very, very important. Make sure you ace that. And then last but not least, a good scheduling calendar for you to make sure that you are looking and making sure that you have enough buyer consultations and enough listing presentations. Gradually expand. After you nail all that, then we move forward. We go into paid ads. We go into creating a YouTube channel. We're going to get into all that when it comes to social media. But right now, these are the action plans. And if you need an advanced action plan, there you go. Where's your YouTube channel? How is your website optimized? Are you paying to make sure that your website stays on top with some key search terms? Those are for people that are ready to scale even further. So if you're new, don't take that advice. Okay. And if you're not, let's up your game. That's what we want to do. Always up our game. Most of all, be consistent. This is where you follow the daily disciplines. If you follow the daily disciplines and your tools are all set up, you're all good to go. It just becomes a discipline habit. So proud of you guys. I will see you on the next one.